Well. Listen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are that you will be watching this broadcast. Listen, you're watching Leading from the Future. I'm your host, Pastor Dr. Anthony D. Shannon. And let me tell you something. Welcome to this wonderful broadcast where we are leading from the future. It's a unique space where inspiration seamlessly blends with revelation to empower your journey right here. We don't just keep you informed, we transform your perspective. Dive into riveting stories of individuals who triumphed over adversity. Listen, learn from those who persevered against all the odds and absorb invaluable lessons that will help you, all right, on your journey. And you can use these lessons, all right? And we want you to understand that this show is to help you find your voice. We want you to ignite change. That's right. Our show just isn't just about stories, it's a call to action. We believe everyone has a purpose, a unique calling that makes them indispensable to the world. Join us today and always when we're coming on. You can help uncover hidden potentials, inspire that will inspire you to embrace your destiny. You know what we say? Life without purpose is like living life not at all. Find your purpose and live your life. This is Leading from the Future. It's a movement towards a purpose driven life. If you find your purpose, you find your legacy. Now, this show is going to be outstanding. Let me tell you something. I think this is the time for women. We've always empowered women. We had women preachers, teachers, prophets, and people said, Shannon, you're crazy. No, I think God is the one created male and female and told them to have dominion. So when I see that women are being empowered, I think this is the moment. We have a special guest for you. That's correct. We have Brigadier General Tawanda, we call Tia Young, all right, as a renowned motivational speaker. She's a consultant, a strategist, an author, and an executive in residence with decades of experience as a senior executive in the military. She excels in leadership and conflict resolution. Now, that right there, that's a whole movie right there, okay? Tawanda's mission is to empower businesses, corporations, organizations, and universities worldwide to improve leadership qualities and relationships through effective conflict management. Her signature talk, Bridging the Gap, turning conflict into collaboration. You know what? It has captivated diverse audiences, offering insights into conflict solutions and real world applications. She has been a keynote speaker at major events, including the Leadership Conference in Afghanistan and Sean Fair's Leadership Experience Tour, broadcast globally. As the founder of LT3 Leadership Solutions, Tawana helps corporations achieve peak performance through innovative conflict resolution strategies. She has taught corporate leaders in the United States and abroad, enhancing productivity and self awareness. Listen, I need you to get on your feet, clap those hands for this wonderful woman of God, a general, Tia Young. That's right, she is the author of Dare to Be Differently. Come on now, chew on this. 16 bites for bold leaders and the forthcoming Destiny Exposed anthology, Leading Ladies edition. You know you need to talk to the one and only General Young. Why don't you welcome her as our special guest?
Hi.
Welcome. How you doing? How you doing?
It is a treat to just be in your presence. Let me tell you that. So, as you were reading all that stuff, I was like, "Oh, I wish my mama was listening." You know, I wish she was listening.
Well, mama gonna begin to, she gonna say, look here, she proud. Amen. Wherever she's at, I'm sure she's proud of you because my mother said that the fruit don't fall far from the tree. So
Hey,
therefore, your mother had good stock. You got good pedigree because you are a leader of leaders. And that right there is saying a whole lot. First of all, welcome us to us. So talk to us and tell the audience, who you are, first of all. And what made you take the military route and then make a career out of it.
Well, you shared a whole lot about me already, so I'll cut to the chase. I am first, you talk about what's extremely important to you. I am the girlfriend of my boyfriend for 33 years, Tracy Young. I call him my Angus. We have two heartbeats, Lee and Tyra, and we have been married for 33 years. He's been
Wow.
on with me on the journey that you spoke about this entire time, my ride for life. And it is just for us as a team, we enjoy bringing value to other people and seeing other people grow because someone did it for us. We want to pay
Mhm.
it forward. So that's what we started LT3 Leadership Solutions with that in mind. As you talked about conflict is something that we normally all shy away from. But
Mhm.
in my military career, that was a whole lot of conflict I had to deal with and figure out and learn some strategies to get around conflict and look at it in a different way, not as so much as a negative, but as a positive. To how I came into the military, I wish I could tell you that it was like this grand story, but there was a Bojangles down the street from Claflin University where I attended HBCU. And I came from humble beginnings, so I didn't have a lot of money. The money I had to use it very wisely. And the ROTC was offering some money. So you got $100 stipend. So I went in so I could go on Sundays down to Bojangles and get me two wings and a biscuit. And thus I fell in love with it. But my brother and my sisters were serving at the time, and I saw also how they were having the opportunity to see the world. You know, I came from Darlington, South Carolina, a little small town with one light, where everybody knows your business and knows you well, right? Uh, Miss Sarah will whip you down the street, and then Miss June, if she caught you, will whip you before you got to the house. So I got into the military and enjoyed the camaraderie and the relationships that I was blessed to garner.
Wow. So let me ask you this then. When you got into the military, you went in as what? What did you go in as?
I was a second lieutenant because I had a
Okay.
4-year degree. I came in as an officer.
Okay. You came in as an officer. And where all have you been stationed?
Oh wow! For a little snot nosed girl from Darlington, South Carolina, I've had some great tours.
Oh, wow.
I've gone from American Samoa to Guam to Saipan to Korea to Hawaii.
Wow.
Then you come stateside, if you will, come closer to home. Fort Bragg, Fort Jackson, Fort McPherson when it was actually in play. AR Perscom in St. Louis. I've had a plethora of opportunities. Let's just say we moved 19 times.
19 times. Wow. That's phenomenal. Let me ask you another question then. Can you share then like a pivotal moment when you decided to pursue the long-term career in the military?
Ooh. I would say that was when I was in command
Okay.
as a lieutenant colonel. And I got the honor of being able to command well over 50,000 people. And my
Wow.
job was sending them overseas for the war. And I realized in sending a lot of people, husbands, wives, I remember having the telephone as I was holding it and putting a soldier on a plane while his wife was actually giving birth. Uh,
Mm.
but I had to put him on the plane. And I realized that if I was going to be sending everybody over, I had to take opportunity to go over as well and serve my country in that regard. And that was a pivotal moment for me to see all those people really sacrificing
Mm.
and may not come home.
Wow.
So I decided that I was going to be in it for the long haul after I had that job.
Wow. That now, how do you define leadership? How do you define leadership?
I define leadership as the power of influence to lead to positive change.
Wow.
To me, it is an opportunity to cultivate your self awareness and take that self awareness and flourish in it to then help someone else be able to be a better leader. I don't think that you can be a leader without understanding who you are
Mm-hmm.
and why do you do the things. What is your style? Why do you lead the way you lead?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you got to bring all that baggage from when you were little, the
Mm-hmm.
experiences that you've had, the choices you've made in life, the
Mm-hmm.
lessons that you've learned. All of that to me comes into that nutshell of who you are as a leader. And from there, that influence that you use should be for positive change, but we also know that it can be used for manipulation as well.
Absolutely. Big time. Big time. So you've been in leadership in the military for over 3 decades. And you talk about conflict resolution. I'm sure that you had your share of conflicts, whether they were personality conflicts or other conflicts, just for you being a woman. How did you master the conflict resolution?
Well, I will tell you, I had just a few over 33 years, just a little,
Just a little bit, right?
not too many.
Not too many.
I will tell you it again, back to those experiences that I went through. When I first came into the military, I literally stood at the base of a rappel tower and
Mm,
meeting a leader as an aspiring leader myself. Coming in, they told me that I was going to have leaders that were going to coach, teach, and guide me. So I
mhm,
was excited. And this first time that I met one of my senior leaders, he told me that I had no right to be in the military and that he was going
wow.
to do everything within his power to ensure that I did not make it to the next rank. Now, the crazy thing about this is he had to sign the papers in order for me to make it to the next rank.
Wow.
I stood there in that moment wanting to cry my eyes out because I just felt wronged. But I had
Wow.
the fortitude back to those experiences. My mom, my dad had shown leadership to me, emulated it all my life. And
Mhm,
I stood there and I told him, I said, I'll be here when you retire and I'll shake your hand.
mm,
I saluted and I marched on. Now, I did go to my office and bawl my eyes out. But my NCO, Sergeant First Class Bobby D. Harris, God rest his soul, showed when it came into the office and said to me, are you going to cry all day, Lieutenant, or are you going to figure this stuff out?
mm,
And he taught me the S word. And I'm not saying shadiggity or
mhm.
something like that. He taught me strategy.
Yes, indeed.
And in learning how to observe people, their mannerisms, how they interacted, how they communicated, he helped me figure out how to get around him and still get my promotion to first lieutenant. Long story short, I walked in the line, got in the line very happily, and walked up to him and shook his hand at his retirement and thanked him for his service.
Wow. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Leading from the Future with the one and only Brigadier General Tawanda E. Young. Did you hear that story? I know some of y'all would have just freaked out, quit, gave up, went back home. Not her. She looked them dead in the eyeballs and said, I'll be here and I'll shake your hand. And she did just that. We'll be right back. Take a look at these announcements. And guess what? Why don't you be a partner today and help us to continue to take this all around the world? You know, this is going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Apple TV, Roku TV, Hulu. Come on now. We are not playing. We're going to take it all around the world. That's right. Check this out. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to embark on a journey of inspiration and empowerment? Introducing The Heart of a Black Man, inspiring stories of triumph and resilience. A captivating anthology that sheds light on the incredible stories of Black men who have faced adversity with unwavering strength. This anthology features a powerful voice among its authors, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. His contribution adds a unique perspective, weaving a narrative of resilience, faith, and triumph that will leave you inspired and moved. The Heart of a Black Man is more than just a book. It's a beacon of hope, a celebration of perseverance, and a testament to the indomitable spirit within the hearts of Black men. Available now on Amazon for only $20 or Kindle for $9.99, The Heart of a Black Man is a powerful investment in knowledge, empathy, and inspiration. Reach out to us or order your copy today and join us in celebrating the resilience, triumphs, and the enduring spirit of Black men everywhere. Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the V-Church app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching our commercials, tuning into them, but most importantly, being an active partner with Leading from the Future. We're so excited that you tune in and that you watch us week after week. And we just so godly proud for all of you who sow the seed and help us to take this broadcast everywhere it can go. And let me tell you something, people need to hear this one for sure. All right. Well, welcome back. We are back now live with Brigadier General. She's retired, but let me tell you something, she still knows leadership, okay? And she's now willing to help others. How did then, General, your, I guess I should say this, that your education, right? You went to, is it Claflin University? Claflin University, and then South Carolina State University. How did it prepare you to go as a second lieutenant?
So Claflin had a cross enrollment program with South Carolina State. So I graduated from Claflin University, but got commissioned through South Carolina State's ROTC program.
Okay.
And in that program, it was known to be and was kind of like the citadel of the South. Over 23 to date, over 23 general officers have been produced out of that school. And there for a long time, I was the only female general officer. I'm blessed to now have a sister, a partner in crime. So now there's 2 of us out of the 23 general officers produced through that program. And that program seeded into me the structure I needed about leadership at its core. And the true essence of leadership is making impact. But you must be prepared. You can't go into this willy-nilly. Talent will only get you but so far. You got to know your craft. And you got to know how to deal with people. And it taught me a lot between Claflin University with the staff that was there, the professors, close-knit Christian school that taught me a lot of values that aligned with what my mom and dad had already taught me about treat people with dignity and respect, speak to people like that, like you would want to be spoken to, and deal with people in a way that you want to be dealt with, because you never know when you meet someone, that person might change the trajectory of your life.
Mm.
There's a bridge. Angela Davis says, take your walls and turn them into bridges. You might have to
Mhm.
cross that bridge in the future. And from having that close knit uh, community
Mhm.
of leaders and encouragers allowed me to be productive, I think, as a great launching pad going
Mhm.
into the military.
Absolutely. Now, you know, I want to go back just a little bit to the situation, the conflict resolution that you had to deal with, and how you had to learn strategy. Now, one of the things I do know as a leader, and especially I'm sure as a brigadier, that you had to be tough, mentally tough. And a lot of people want leadership, but they don't want the correction. They don't want to deal with conflict resolution. How were you able to master that?
Well, I will tell you, I cultivate what a method I call P3 mentality,
Mhm.
that I had to learn persistence, perseverance, and patience with the process. I'll give you an example. In that unit I told you where I had the honor to lead over 50,000 people, I
Yes,
had a
indeed.
leader that didn't particularly care for me.
Mm.
I competed for the job. I was well suited for the job. I was the only female. It just happens that I'm always just the only female. It's about me. I got this only female stigmatism, I guess. But in that environment, he would belittle me in front of my peers.
Mm.
Anything that I thought that we needed to do in answering complex and ambiguous problems, giving solutions to those issues, he would always knock them down. But I had a champion in the room, and that
Mm.
champion was my command sergeant major, who pulled me aside and said, "Hey, Commander, you got to figure out how to get past the impasse of conflict,
Mm.
because your people need you to lead from the front and provide the resources that are needed."
Mhm.
So I had to sit back, because I told him, I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to, I don't even know what I did to the man.
Right.
You got to figure it out. We're depending on you.
Mm.
And in doing that, again, that observation of sitting back and allowing my work to speak for me,
Mhm.
making sure that I stayed on the right side of right, and not giving leaders things, or giving him, this particular leader, anything to throw me off of my goal and my aim
Mm.
of making sure that I was successful in my leadership of my people. What I did was I learned how to utilize conflict in a positive way as
Mhm.
opposed to a negative, because conflict at its core is, I have a need and can it be met.
Come on now.
His need was, he needed to feel like he was up here and I was down here.
Mhm.
So I allowed him to do all his stuff. That's the patience with the process piece.
Got it.
I sat in those meetings. I took his little pinging and challenges.
Mhm.
But what he didn't know was that there were other people around me, which was my sergeant major, who he loved. And anything that my sergeant major would say, he would cling on to it, and he would like, that's a great idea. So my strategy in that, to get past that conflict and deal with it and get my needs met,
Mhm.
I would tell my sergeant major what I want. I told him, I'm gonna tell you what I want. You're gonna tell him what it is. He's gonna think it's your idea, and we're gonna walk out of here and get our needs met. And we did that for a whole year. The beauty
Wow.
is how God takes stuff and bring it back to you, to let you know you're not in control. He is.
Come
And
on now.
you go through that patience with the process and let him lead you, you'll come on
Mhm.
the other side more stronger, more persistent, able to persevere through things. That same colonel, when I got promoted to GO, was in that line to shake my hand.
What you say? Now name those three P's one more time.
It is persistence,
Okay.
perseverance, and patience with the process.
And
P3
patience.
mentality.
P3 mental. I like that. Now, how did you? Because it sounds like you had mastered resilience. You did not allow the situation, no matter what was being said, no matter what the environment they were wanting to create, to cause you to quit, cave in, back up, or be bitter. You walked over it, strategized against it, and then shook their hands. How were you able to master resilience? Because you didn't, it don't sound like you complained. Even if you cried, right? You went into somewhere else to cry. You did your thing.
Yeah.
You came back with some strategy. Like, hey, oh, you ain't gonna see me cry, brother.
Oh no. Never let them see you cry. Don't let them see you sweat. Now you might go in the bathroom and wipe your head and do all that good stuff, but you come back out clean. I realized that through this process of resiliency was that I had my kids, my soldiers and my civilians and my contractors looking at how was I handling the situation. And how I was handling the situation, they were going to mimic what I was doing. And as a leader, I could not afford to show them to crumble under someone else trying to bring you down. I'm not saying that I was perfect throughout the situation.
Absolutely.
But I was able to understand the importance that not every rock that someone throws at me, I got to put it in my rucksack.
That's good. I like that.
Self-awareness of cultivating my self-awareness of being spiritual. My spirituality got much, much stronger. You know, my dad says everybody wants to go to heaven, but don't want to do what you got to do to get there. That means you got to die, right? So some of the things inside of me had to die. I had to learn that I didn't have all the answers, and that I had to create what I call a board of directors, those trusted advisors that were leaders, that were seasoned leaders, to share with me some of their strategies and some of their resilient ways in which they got through things like I had done. It wasn't something new. I wasn't the first person that was going through these types of things, but I had to learn what was my goal. Why was it my goal? What was I going to do with it when I got it? What was the value of the goal that I was going after? And how was I going to obtain it in this process? And I had to lay out a plan of how I was going to get it. So using my CSM to tell him what I wanted him to know, and he buy off on it. Strategy, observe strategy. And in those moments when you find yourself where you're weak, because we are human.
Absolutely.
We have feelings, right? Everyone wants to be liked, but I had to learn it's not likership, it's a leadership.
I love that. I love that. That's a good moment to take a break. Listen, everybody, you're watching Leading from the Future with our special guest, Brigadier General. She's retired, Tawana E. Young, and I want you to get her book. Listen, I want you to get this book. I promise you, Dare to Lead Differently. She know what she's talking about, okay? Sometimes she's been the only woman, and sometimes she's like, where's my others, okay? But guess what? God led her to lead the way. There's always got to be somebody that started, somebody to lead it, and guess what? She even finished it. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I want you to take a look at these announcements. But first of all, if you do not have my book, Live Generously, I need you to get this book. You need to have that in your library. It's a good read. It's an easy read, but I need you to get the book. All right. You need to know how to live generously, especially in a world of takers. Everyone's taking, looking after themselves, being narcissistic, don't want to mentor, don't want to help. You need to get the book, Live Generously. All right. And then I want you to get the book Unshakable. After you heard this wonderful woman talk about resilience and persistence and the 3 P's, you need this book called Unshakable, Standing Strong When Things Go Wrong. I need you to understand you can't stop the storms of life from raging, but you can discover how to be unshakable with strategy. Get the book today. All right. We'll be right back.
Here at the Victory Church, we are a teaching church, and who better to learn from than our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. He's written a book entitled Live Generously. That's right, if you are ready to embrace biblical principles about money and to learn about God's financial management and even about the joys of trusting God through giving, it's time for you to live generously. Get this book today. Purchase it for $20 here at the church, or you can purchase it in ebook form on our website for $14.99. That's right. Go ahead and visit our website, thevictorychurchint.org. You want to get this book if you are ready to go to another level and embrace God's biblical principles about money. Are you unshakable? We know you can't stop the storms of life, but you can discover how to be unshakable. If you're ready to learn how to overcome family challenges, illness, financial stress, and more, you need this book, Unshakable, written by Nelson Searcy. And the foreword was written by our very own Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Get this book, Unshakable, today for only $20 at the church. And you can also email us at tvci.executiveoffice@gmail.com. Get Unshakable today. It is God's desire that you overcome obstacles, even in less than optimum circumstances. Get these books today to live your best life. And here at the Victory Church, as we say, success is the only option.
There is a topic that we as leaders, we don't want to deal with, and even as people, we don't want to deal with. We avoid it at all costs. It's as if we take it and we put it to the side and we put camouflage over it, and we feel that if we touch it, it might blow up in our faces like C4. What is that topic? Conflict. Yeah, I said it, and I said it out loud. Conflict. For when we think about conflict, our mind normally goes to the negative. But I want to challenge you to look at it from a different perspective. Think of conflict as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for innovation, opportunity for enhanced critical thought. It's an opportunity to get at the root cause of the conflict.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the V-Church app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right. Well, listen, you're back with us, Leading from the Future. I hope you're excited like I am. I hope, listen, I told you, this is the world for women right now. And women, you need to be excited because here is a woman telling you how she overcame, how she went through. Yes, she said, look, I wasn't perfect, but I tell you what, I was faithful. I didn't quit. I didn't cave in. I didn't back up. I might have cried, but guess what? I wiped those tears and went back at it. Yes, I did the next day. Oh, yeah. And they thought they was going to get rid of me, but they didn't get rid of me. They shook my hand. I love it. I love it. Well, Brigadier General, it seems that you had a fantastic time in the military and now. So let me ask you this. Can you describe a leadership experience that significantly impacted your approach to commanding troops?
Oh, wow. There are so many.
Okay.
Let me pick one. Okay. I got it. This particular one was I had a soldier
Okay.
back to that same unit. It seems that I had a whole lot of lessons that the Lord wanted me to learn in that moment through the unit. I had a soldier that got a DUI.
Okay.
And I told all my soldiers, look, if you ever need me, call me. I'd rather you call me chew you out, but a DUI will end your career in the military.
Wow.
So he got a DUI, and it was my job to punish him.
Okay.
But the soldier had just had the blessing of twins being born.
Oh, wow.
And I knew that putting him out or taking his money and taking his rank was going to be devastating. But I couldn't just let him get off with it. He had
Yes.
done the do. He had to take the payment punishment with it. So I brought him in and I shared with him what his punishment was. And he left the unit. And when I had an opportunity for him to come back into the unit, I told him, I said, look, if you come back into this unit, you're going to use your story to help other soldiers understand that they have the power of choice. But in having the power of choice, there are consequences. This soldier came back and was a stellar soldier.
Wow.
He thanked me for not dropping the hammer on him because I could have.
Yes,
But
you could.
having the empathy of understanding his situation, that he needed to be tapped on the tail to understand what he did was wrong, and that the consequences he had to pay, and be the example for other soldiers not to do it. But how I did it, of showing him some empathy and understanding, just made him, he was one of my best soldiers that I had, one of my mouthpieces of how I led, that I led with integrity. I was hard but fair. And that if you needed someone to be in your corner, as long as you did what was right, stayed on the right side of right, and did your part, knew your craft, then at that time, Lieutenant Colonel Young will cover your six.
Like that was so powerful and just amazing because so many people, they want grace, but they demand grace. In this particular case, you gave the grace, you gave the empathy.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question for you. You were mentored. So what did mentorship play in your career, and how do you approach mentoring others because of it?
Well, I'll first tell you, my first introduction to mentorship was not what you would think mentorship was or
Okay,
is.
okay.
I had mentorship in mind. That particular leader had something else in mind. So it kind of really turned me off for seeking any mentorship from other people.
Okay.
But again, you can't do this alone, right? You can't make it to the ranks that I've been blessed to make it alone by yourself. So the leaders that I had mentorship from, who shared their experiences, shared their knowledge, were ones that I wanted to align myself, because I aspired of the attributes and traits that they held that aligned with my values. What I loved about the mentorship was that they didn't give me all the answers. No one needs to give you all the answers. You have the intellectual capacity to figure things out for yourself. You just need a little nudging and guiding, that coaching, if you will, to give you some thought-provoking ideas of how, or strategies of how you can approach the situation. So for me, mentoring was extremely key. I do mentoring all the time with, you say I'm retired, but I feel like I'm not retired sometimes, because I still got a whole bunch of soldiers. I call them my grasshoppers, always calling me, asking me for my insight. But the beauty is to share just enough to get them thinking and get them on the right trajectory and path, to then allow them to come up with what the idea is. And then to see that light bulb go off, that they have the strength, they have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to be successful. They
Mm,
just need someone to ride on the ride with them and go along the journey and keep them accountable. I love that
mhm.
mentorship helps keeping you accountable to what you say you're going to do.
Absolutely. How important is a person's word when they give you their word that they're going to do something, or you give them an assignment that they're going to do it and they fail to do it and fail to communicate? How important is a person's word?
Oh, a person's word is extremely important in my view. My
Mhm.
mom and my dad has taught me if your word is no good, you're no good. Because at the end of the day, your word ties to your name. And when you hear my name, it should say something to you. It should bring a feeling to you that that person is a keeper of her word. She has integrity. She is one who is willing to say, not do what I say, but do as I do, which means be reciprocal in how I treat you. Treat me the same way back. If I tell
Mhm.
you that I'm going to come and borrow a cup of sugar and I'm going to bring you a pound of sugar back next week, then don't bring me another half a cup of sugar back. You told me you were going to bring me my whole bag of sugar, right? But
Right.
if leaders constantly do those kinds of things over and over, why would I trust you?
Mm,
Now you are untrustworthy leader because
mm,
you're showing me that I can't trust you with the small things. Why would
mm.
I trust you with the big things?
Woo, that's good. That is so huge. We like to say here when we deal with Leaders Live Generously Academy, we tell people to the level of their submission is to the level of their authority. Because if they can submit to the little things, we know they can handle the major things. And you subscribe to the same thing. How did you deal with those who were kind of shaky on the edge, or let's say not mature yet? How did you deal with them to cross over to help them become mature and accountable?
Well, it's funny you say that. I had a young lady today that called me. I'm a lecturer at Bowie State University, and I teach on leadership and conflict management. And today she gave me a call,
Mhm.
and she was calling me because she wanted me to give her the answer, and I refused.
Mm.
I gave her some homework.
Mhm.
You got to have some skin in the game.
Mhm.
When I was little, my mom and I would come home and tell my mom and dad, the teacher don't know what they're talking about. They're not doing this and not doing that. And my mom will respond, she has her degree. You're trying to get your
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
wife on to listen.
Mm.
So it is being a good coach along the way is like the yellow brick road. I give you a little bit of crumbs, digestible information to have you keep pushing yourself, keep challenging yourself,
Mhm.
and building that confidence you need to get the small wins that are going
Mhm.
to add up to the large wins. We tend to think the small wins are no good. No. Every night before I go to bed, I tell myself at least 3 wins that I did for the day. One of them is going to be tonight. I was on Pastor Shannon show. That's a win right
That's
there.
a win.
That's a win right there,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, it
So
is.
it is helping them get the small little wins that build their confidence in their ability to be able to make sound and informed decisions about their career, about their life, about dealing within their relationships. I think it's extremely important.
Wow, that is so powerful, so profound. We're going to take our last break right now, but I pray that you have been enjoying this conversation. Listen, if you are a leader, an aspiring leader, I don't care if you're male or female, all of the principles that the Brigadier General have laid out are 24 karat gold. They're transferable. I don't care what position you hold. If you're going to be in leadership, you're going to need this, believe that. And so I want you to take a look at this, because I believe it's going to help you with Leaders Live Generously Academy. We want to give you this invitation to join up with us, and then go ahead, do what you do and connect with Leaders Live Generously Academy. It's the number one platform to help you balance your life. You don't have to give up your family. You don't have to give up your faith. You can have all of it, all right, and still be paid. We call it saved and paid and loving on your family. Did you hear the general? She been married to her her boyfriend, her puka nuka, and he been around the whole time. If you want to know how to keep a man, you better talk to her, okay? All right, there it is.
Love
Come on,
on
give
it.
me the
Love
snap.
on
So we will be right back. My name is Anthony D. Shannon Sr., International Certified Leader, speaker, trainer, and coach, certified by John Maxwell and Samuel Chad. I am also the founder of Leaders Live Generously Academy, an Anthony D. Shannon consulting group, the number one platform to help you overcome past failures, release your self-doubt, and shatter fears. You will reach your maximum potential and achieve high results in your life and your business. You see, my mission is to help you become the best you that you can be. With over 25 years of corporate experience, from sales positions to district vice president and even vice president positions with sales companies. I have been responsible for overseeing the success of training departments with over 3,000 employees. I've had the opportunity to create and deliver world-class, award-winning presentations on global stages and corporate platforms across North America. You see, my passion in life is growing and equipping others to do remarkable things and lead significant and fulfilled lives by overcoming and winning. You know, there's no greater mission for me, period. My motto is, everyone has a purpose. So you need to find your purpose and start living your life. That's why I've dedicated my life to teach and encourage people to win. You see, what separates me from the competition? I'll be flat out. It's honesty, it's integrity, it's relevance, it's passion, and it's care. We get results. I always say to live is to grow, and to grow is to change. And change is necessary for sustained success. You know, no matter the business you have, a sports team, corporate, management, or self-employed, if you are ready to unlock your full potential and win in life while serving others at the highest level, I want you to go right now to Anthony D. Shannon Consultinggroup.com or LeadersLiveGenerouslyAcademy.com.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, we hope that you're enjoying the show, and we want to let you know that we are grateful for you. From captivating stories to insightful discussions, we value your presence in our community. Now, if you're finding value and joy in what we bring to your screen, we'd like to invite you to consider taking your support a step further. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we warmly invite you to contribute. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each, as well as 10 contributors with a gift of $526, and 10 supporters donating $224.24. Every donation, regardless of the amount, makes a significant impact. However, as a token of our gratitude, each contributor will receive a personalized prophetic word and an exclusive ebook. We have 3 simple ways for you to give, making it quick and easy for you to send your contributions. The first is Cash App. That's right, $ Anthony D. Shannon. You can send your contribution directly to our amazing host. The second way is to download the VChurch app. Go ahead and download on the Google Play or your App Store and follow the prompts there. The third is Cash App, $ the Victory Church INT. Again, we thank you for your contributions and your support of Leading from the Future with our amazing host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. Well, thank you for being an essential part of our journey. Your generosity truly fuels our passion. Now let's get back to the show because more exciting moments await us. Thank you for your continued support.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Amen. That was our last break. Now we're going to get into the winding up of this wonderful conversation. It goes so fast. I tell you, I'm enjoying what she's saying today, aren't you? That's right. You didn't know that you could get all that from Brigadier General, retired. So people still call on her, all right? Tawana E. Young. That's correct. Well, listen, we've got a few more questions for you. And here's one. Can you discuss the significance of the Veteran Woman Monument at, is it Claflin University?
That is such, Pastor, that's such a great honor.
Mm.
As I shared with you, the two being one of two now graduating from South Carolina State ROTC as a general officer. For Claflin, I am the only general officer that has been produced from the university. And not only in that, but that monument itself is one that is not seen on other campuses,
Right.
HBCU campuses, or really PWI campuses as well. And it honors the sacrifice, the dedication, and the commitment, not just for me. I got to highlight on the monument as being dedicated to, but it's for other women, veterans that have served, that are leal and loyal daughters of Claflin University. And I just commend my university. I'm thankful, I'm honored, blessed that they thought enough of a little old general to showcase their appreciation for my representation of the university in that way.
Wow. You know, you talk a lot about your mother and your growing up. How impactful was your mother in helping you become a leader?
Ooh, after all those whippings, I mean, your audience may not know about whippings, but my mom's a pastor as well. Pastor Annie Lou Williamson knows about some whippings. Even Deacon Lewis knows about some whippings as well. My mom and dad came from humble beginnings. My dad, neither one of them graduated from high school, so education was extremely important. But they modeled in front of me how to serve people. Now, I will tell you, growing up, and many of your audiences probably can relate to, my mom and dad had big hearts. So I felt, why give away what we have when we only have little? But, you know, I mean, to the point of Christmas, I used to get a lot of stuff at Christmas, and then I had to turn around and share it with the other kids in the neighborhood. And I'm like, but that was for me. And she said,
right.
No, you get more when you give more. And she said, you live and learn, child. You'll figure this out. But they held very tight reins on being strict on respecting other people. Look, when I was little, you couldn't say lie, call someone stupid,
right,
in front of adults. Look, I'm 58, and I'm still scared to say those two words in front of my mom and dad.
Amen to that.
They held us to a standard, and they were unwavering on that standard. They expected you to represent the family name, back to your word, the family name, in a way that would not tarnish the family name.
Yeah.
And just seeing how my mom worked in the factory, worked in the cotton fields, tobacco fields. Actually, she took me there the year before I went, the summer before I went to Claflin University to teach me honest day's living. And she told me, if you don't do well in school, this is where you're coming back to. So, I worked hard in school. I wasn't coming back to the tobacco and them big worms and all that good stuff. I wasn't going to do that. And my dad showed me how to be how silent, resilient leadership can play out in your life.
Wow.
He's not a very talkative person, but when he spoke and when he speaks, he's 91. Turning 91 this year. My mom turns 90 this year. But when he speaks with authority and with power. And you sit there in awe with the things that he shares with you about life lessons and things to be mindful of. So I'm blessed, one, to have both parents still here on this earth with me to continue to keep me straight. I'm the one that they keep on their knees and pray about. I'm the black sheep of the family. Don't get it.
That is so cool.
Got a little roughneck in it now. So, but they have really taught me about serving others, and I think that's the main point that I take away for my leadership is
Mhm.
bringing value to people.
Yes, yes. Well, I got one last question for you because we have run out of time. But I wanted to ask this question. What was the most rewarding aspect of your role as the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army Human Resource Command?
I will tell you one of the most memorable honors of leading that organization, which is the largest human resource organization in the world, because they take care of soldiers from cradle to grave, from the time you come in to the time you leave. Dover, if you're are familiar with, where we bring our soldiers back, fallen soldiers,
Hmm.
and take care of them and their families as we lay them to rest. I had the honor of giving and presenting on behalf of the armed forces the flag to
Mm.
a young lady who, when her dad left, um, she was 2 years old.
Mm.
He was a Tuskegee Airman, Captain Dickerson,
Okay.
and they had found his body not
Mm.
say his body, but found remains, his cross, his ring. He loved music, and they found even his guitar pick. And I got the honor to see how not just the soldiers who are serving, because when we raise our hand and say those 72 indelible words to support and defend the Constitution, we're saying that we're willing to die for
Yes.
this nation. But to be able to bring her closure and give her a piece of her dad back,
Hmm.
it
Wow.
still gives me chills.
Yeah.
That God saw fit to allow me to play a small, impactful role in that process will always be a memory that I cherish and that I'm thankful that I got to be a part of.
Wow, that's so profound. Thank you so much, Brigadier General Tawana E. Young. Here is her book. It is called Dare to Lead Differently. Why don't you tell people how they can get the book, first of all, and then how do they get in touch with you? Your social media, Facebook, website, and even how to even join up with you. Talk to us.
Well, you can get Dare to Lead Differently, Chew on This 16 Bites for Bold Leaders on my website at www.lt3leads.com, or you can find us on it's on Amazon in all formats, and you can reach out to me if you need coaching, leadership, conflict management, going through a program to learn that P3 mentality of persistence, perseverance, and patience with the process. Then reach out to us at www.lt3leads.com or on our social media, Twanda.Young on LinkedIn and Facebook. We'd love to partner with you, and we'd love to seed into your life and bring some value into your life to make you a more impactful and a more profound person within your sphere of influence.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have heard from one of the only, all right, Brigadier General retired Tawana E. Young. That's right. And I'm telling you, she's not retired. I guess she's retired from one aspect of her journey, but she's now birthed something else and doing something else. So I don't think she retired until she going to heaven. Okay. And you already heard her say her mother and her father is still talking and influencing her life today. All right. That's a phenomenal career and what a resume that she has. All right. And so I want you to know, Brigadier, we enjoyed you today. And we got one question. Would you come back? All right. Would you come back? Because we got so much more, I'm sure, that we got to uncover and talk about. 3 decades of leadership strategy, 3 Ps. That's just the surface of it. Plus, you're going to be writing more books and all kind of stuff going on. All right.
I'd love to come back, Pastor. I love to, love to.
Well, good. After listening to you, we're working on some events of next year, and we're definitely going to be reaching out to you because you definitely have to be a part of them for sure, for sure, for sure. All right. And thank you so much. All right, leading from the future broadcast. Look, we always want to encourage you to partner up with the broadcast. We're looking for 10 of you to partner with $224.24. We want you to partner because that's going to help us to continue to take this broadcast all around the world. We believe stories like you just heard, women like you just heard, need to encourage and be an encouragement for others who think that can't be done. But when they hear stories like this and a woman hear it, she's like, oh yeah, I can do it because I just heard one do it that looked like me. And we're excited to do that. All right. And we're encouraging you to do that. And so, as we always say, find your purpose so you can live your life, because life without purpose is like living life not at all. We believe in not leading from behind, but you heard the general said, if you're going to lead, you got to lead in front. You got to lead by example. That's leading from the future. And we'll see you next time. I am your host, Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon, a prophet you can trust. Peace.
Thank you for joining us on another incredible episode of Leading from the Future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon. We've had an amazing journey exploring visionary leadership and inspiring insights. If you're passionate about sharing your story and ideas on our show, we'd love to have you as a guest. Simply reach out to us via email at thevictorychurchint@gmail.com. To ensure the continued success of our channel, we invite you to support us by contributing. We're seeking 10 generous individuals to donate $1,000 each. You can contribute through 3 convenient ways. The first is Cash App. That's right, $Anthony D. Shannon or $The Victory Church INT. You can also download the V Church app. Search for us on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. Follow the prompts and make your contribution. Whether you contribute $1,000 or any amount, every donation makes a difference. Go ahead and support us today. For more information and to stay connected, please visit leaderslivegenerously.com. We appreciate your support in advancing our mission. Well, thank you for being a part of this incredible community. Join us again next time as we lead from the future with Dr. Pastor Prophet Anthony D. Shannon.